Hi, everyone. It's a few minutes after 6 on Thursday night, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 502. And if you've been keeping track, 501 was yesterday's radio show, and the link to that is on the front page. It's really a great discussion about futures, the advantages, the tax advantages. So give a listen, and you know where to find me and Dennis, and we'll be more than happy to help. Okay, so the market had another day like yesterday, except that today the internals were substantially stronger. Where yesterday they were 8 to 7 and 6 to 5, today on the NYSE, where the Dow was up 542 or 1.95%, they were 6 to 1. And the NASDAQ, where the market was up 300.15 or 2.6%, they were 3.5, 3.6 to 1. The S&P was up 67 for 195, and the Russell came roaring back, finished as the big winner of the day, up 44.96 or 2.78%. And the transports were up 277 and change or 2.44%. So we have all of that. Interesting on the Lyft and Uber. Both of them were up substantially yesterday, and that was on the basis of their win in California, and they continued to rally this morning. But while Uber stayed up about $1 or so, at the about 41.60 level, Lyft hit $32 and then closed 28.83. It wasn't down much, but that is, 3.25 off the high. That's pretty telling. The difference in these companies, if you don't know, because actually there are people who drive for both of them, Uber does a lot more with Uber Eats, and so they have, this restaurant issue, and takeout is definitely favoring them over Lyft. Okay, so Square had earnings today, and they were a monster. The stock had closed at 175 and a quarter, up 394, and it traded up to 191.70, and the last is 153.12. Pardon me, 183.12. So another $8 over the high at the New York close. Roku, same kind of situation, but a little bit more of a sell-off. They beat top and bottom. The stock had closed 225 up 9. It rallied to 253. So it rallied $28 on their numbers and guidance, and then came back in and is currently trading 229.98. And that's up 14.32 or just under 7%. Biogen IDEC, who had that great Alzheimer's news, continued up a little this morning, but then fell back and closed at 329.61, down 26. You have to remember that this stock yesterday had a high of in the neighborhood of 375, 378. Okay, the chart on the screen looks pretty decent. It's the gold, and as you can see, it also looks pretty decisive. So we had that little double bottom, even though we fell below the 100-day MA. The shorter term MAs are turning up. Let me give you a better look. You can see the purple is the 5-day. The blue is the 20-day. That's the old Dick Donchen 5 and 20. And what that says, just so that you know, what that says is that it's a buy in a trending market when the 5 goes through the 20. to the upside and the opposite to the downside. This looks pretty decisive. We also cleared all of this. We're going to have a little bit of supply, I'm assuming, in this area around 1984. But right now we're only 1947, even though, and we closed pretty darn close to the high too. I was 1954. This, as I mentioned this morning, really helps us with the silver, where we're long the 2 times the silver. So silver today was up during the day. It closed up, let's see, closed up $1.29.8, so $1.30. They don't show a percentage here, but that was pretty stout, and it's still trading just a shade higher right now. The AGQ, though, which, as I said, is a double, went from 41 or 42 and change up to 47 today, and the options that closed yesterday around $1.50, $1.60 doubled today. The oil did not have a good day, but the other chart that everybody who listens to me or reads my work knows is my favorite chart. It is unbelievable how well this trades. And it trades technically perfectly. And I think that part of that is because there's really nothing behind it. I'm not saying that in a derogatory manner, but you don't have to worry about earnings. You don't have to worry about beating, somebody's expectations. All we had, and I put this out on Sunday, we have this big bottom, and I believe it's a head and shoulders bottom with a compound neckline, which means that this is the initial neckline around 10,620, and it broke out through that, came back down and tested that same exact area right around 10,000, and now for the past week it has moved now. Let's see, this is a weekly. So on the week we are up $2,015. That's $2,000 on a $13,000. That's about 16% in raw change. Unfortunately, I sold the last third of our position in GBTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The last stock that I sold got out around 15 and a half. And I think that today I saw it trading at 17 and a half. So we made a ton of money on it. I'll go back in. It's not going to be a problem for us. But that's about it, folks. So I will be back first thing in the morning. One more thing. Today was Fed Day. Meant absolutely nothing. Nothing that they said or nothing that they did had any effect on the market whatsoever. And tomorrow we have unemployment and consumer credit. So that may or may not push this market. The ADP employment came in light. So there's that. So we'll have to wait and see first thing in the morning, and then I will let you know as soon as I can. Have a good evening, folks. I'll talk to you in the morning. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.